Hi there, trailer owners. Today we're going to be taking a look at Polar's replacement hasp for side doors. It's 1 inch in width by 5 1/8 inch long, and from center to center on our bolting holes, it's about 4 1/4 inch. It'll work with your existing one. Now, I will say on some of these older ones, this one here was kind of rusty, so it was a little bit difficult to get it in there. But if we clean up some of that rust like I did, then it works pretty well. We also have replacement handles if you're having issues there. Now that we got our handle out of the way, we can get a better look at our hasp here, and you can see the opening. So it should accommodate most side door handles, even if you're not repairing one from Polar. I definitely say check the measurements when you're considering replacement. The hardware does not come included with our hasp, so you will need to provide your own. So if you've got an old rusty one, this is going to make a great replacement. You can see our old one here, the hardware on it, when I tried to take it out, the nut just spun and the carriage bolt was rusted in there, so I couldn't get the thing out, so I ended up having to grind off the head of the bolt to get it out of there. That's not very common, but it does happen, especially on your older ones. That's why we recommend carriage bolt replacement. With our new one, though, it's going to be much smoother in operation than with our old one, and it definitely gives our trailer a nice facelift on how it used to look with all that old rusty hardware. The biggest reason why you want to keep your locks and latches in proper operation is to keep all the items in your trailer nice and secure. You may have some expensive items, might be going to a campsite, and this is just where you keep some gear, or maybe you are going to a show and you keep a lot of your items that you're displaying enclosed in your trailer here. You want to keep all those things safe until you're ready to display them. It's a solid steel construction, and to help prevent it from rusting and looking like our old one here, it does have a zinc plating on it, so it'll keep its nice finish. We'll begin our installation by removing our old latch. We've already put new hardware in it as our old hardware was all damaged, but our customer would like to have a nice shiny new latch to match his new hardware. To take our old one out, we're just going to remove the nuts that's on the back side. The size of your nuts is going to vary depending upon the hardware that was installed on your trailer. Ours are just regular nuts on the back side, and we're going to be using a 13mm socket to remove them. Just pull the whole assembly out. Or then just going to clean up the area behind it. We're just using some alcohol on a rag to do so. If it's rusted real bad, you may need to use an abrasive cloth or sponge to get all that material off. Just trying to get a nice smooth surface. And now this next part's going to be optional, but you can use some silicone. If we take some and put it around our bolt holes right here, when we go to put our hardware in, this is going to seal it up so that way moisture can't get inside past the hardware. We'll now take our new latch. We're just going to slide our hardware through it, and then we're going to slide that on in to our existing holes. You can pick up carriage bolts, nuts, and washers at your local hardware store if you need some new hardware. I do highly recommend carriage bolts, as these have square holes and they'll look nicer on the outside with the button heads. And then here on the back side, we're just going to reinstall our nuts and washers. Then we can just tighten our hardware back down. Now that we've got our new latch installed, we can go ahead and test it out. We're going to flip up the lock portion, bring our handle over, latch her shut, and then bring the lock down. We can now put a padlock in there, or we could just leave it how it is, and our door's definitely staying shut. And if you'd like to replace your handle as well, we've got kits for those. We've already put some on the back, so we've got videos on how to put those on as well. This is what our old one used to look like. And here you can see our nice shiny new one. And that completes our look at Polar's replacement hasp for side doors.